Welcome back to a brand new video, and in today's video we are down on the 18th hole of the Fire course and we're going to get a lesson from Mr. Andrew Carter. You're going to guide us up this hole and help us make par or birdie if you can.
I will try.
It's a brutal hole really. We've got the wind firing straight back into us today. It's 525 yards, lots of bunkers out there, uphill. We've got everything going against us. It doesn't seem the most simple of par fives, so
it's going to be a tough one today. And one of the things is, especially with it being so windy, is not to try and adapt your game too much. See too many people peg it down and try and hit the driver stinger.
Yeah.
And it's like, especially on the 18th hole in particular, when you've never played that shot in the last 4.5 hours, don't try it on the 18th tee. But you know what, we probably all will anyway.
We probably will.
Try and still, even with wind like this, still try and play your own game. You've just got to try and allow for it. You've got to accept that the ball is just not going to go as far. So if
maybe
you hit the
knock
ball,
a set yardage off your ball, you say call it 280, it's going to fly 240.
Yeah, exactly. Just assume with this sort of wind or whatever wind you're playing in, you're going to lose 10 to 50 yards depending on how strong it is, and just kind of reevaluate the hole from there.
Okay, so on this one here we can see we've got some bunkers up there. One on the right hand side, about 210 to get over.
The right hand side? Left hand side?
Sorry, left hand side, yeah. Yeah, can't frame it.
The one on the left hand side, yeah, we can clear that one even with this wind, but we don't. The one on the right hand side is definitely in play.
Okay.
So we're going to be going over the left hand side of it, not over too much of it, because then we're going to hit the rough. So over the right corner of it.
Okay.
Is the idea.
Oh, sensational stuff from.
Went from a tee and it's moved. That was beautiful. If I do say so myself, it's going to be a long way in from there. The wind massively affected it.
Oh no.
Oh.
I wasn't committed to that then. I've seen it bounce a couple of times.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's not lost, it just takes the green out of the equation, with or without wind.
Good thing is, I've got a coach with me, so now we're going to get some tips how to get out of the rubbish.
Matthew. So you've missed the rough anyway, you've kind of caught some sand.
That's what I like about Dubai, there's no unless you're seriously off track, there's no real super heather, is there? I mean, it's only 10 yards.
Well, I mean, they can't see off camera, but like 2 more paces, and it's gone. But yeah, I mean, straight away when you get to your ball, always try and assess, don't just grab a club and just think, I'm just going to lay up over there, because every lie has got its own unique problem. In particular, this one, obviously we're on sand, so the harder you try and hit a golf ball off sand, the more your feet are likely to move, because obviously the ground is movable. Yeah, so I would often advise to try and get like a 3/4 shot going rather than a full swing. So maybe club up by 1 or 2 clubs and just get a 3/4 shot. Now obviously this is a par 5.
Yeah, trouble obviously that bunker's slap bang in the middle there, isn't it? I've got 260 to the flag. So I probably want to leave myself about a 90-yard pitch.
Okay.
So I've got to hit it 170.
Quick maths.
Yeah.
So a 170 club for you is what, a 7-iron?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I would advise you, as a coach, to grab your 5, if you're comfortable with a 5-iron off that lie.
Yeah.
3/4 5-iron. Now the slope's obviously going from right to left, so it's a downhill slope towards the target. So this side of the ground is higher than the ball. So we've got to try and make sure that the weight gets across to the left-hand side so we can still compress it. If on these sort of strikes you try and lean back to hit it up into the air, or you lean onto your trail leg, you are likely to hit the ground first. So you've got to try and adapt to the slope. So spine angle and shoulder angle goes with the slope for quality of strike.
Gripping down at all or anything like that, would you say? In a bunker like a trap, obviously this is a bit like a fairway bunker, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
Take anything up because of that slope now?
Not necessarily, no, just more a little bit off the swing.
Yeah.
3/4 swing.
3/4, stable base.
Ball position more central as well, make it easier to get the strike, again because of the slope. And then
this trap now, because that's only 100 yards away, I can just go straight over it.
Straight over it.
No drama. Okay.
Again, if you're in a situation where you're not confident about this type of lie, and therefore then the bunker is very much in play, figure out a way around it. Either keep it down the left, keep it down the rough on the left if the rough's not too severe, or bail out a little bit more to the right side. You've got to assess every shot differently once you get to it. But Matt, being the ball striker that he is, will have no issue. So,
Sorry, just covered you in sand there. Thanks for your coaching. Here's some sand. The ball just up there in the fairway. All very good. Let's move on to your ball, see what's what.
good shot, mate.
Good drive from you there, 250 up to the flag. You got nothing in the way really, big landing area up there. Would that be something now where you think, well, there's no point laying up, I can pretty much just blast this because there's no danger?
Yeah, winds again slightly into and off the left hand side, so I've got to be wary of obviously the desert and the garbage down the right hand side, but yeah, to be honest, it's open enough that I am backing myself to not lose the ball.
To get up there. So if there's no obstacles, try and get it as far down as possible with a club that you're most comfortable with.
Sometimes it can hinder you just by being overly safe, because then the third shot still needs to be executed really well. So while you're in a position like this, try and take advantage of it.
Right, let's give it a go then. 3-wood, whack skis.
Rip a 3-wood. I'm going to aim slightly left of the flag just to help with the wind. It took off well. I've lost it.
Just down the left-hand side, I think.
Oh, there it is, middle.
Oh, central, there it is.
Just short of the green.
Yeah.
Just short of the green, yes.
Good shot.
Thank you.
So we've got down the fairway now, good instruction on that second shot there. I've left myself 115 yards. Talk to us about wanting to make birdie here. I think a lot of people get suckered into it, especially if you're, a mid to high handicapper. We can get a little bit overexcited that we've got a potential chance now.
Well, on a hole like this, you've hit 2 great shots, so yeah, there's no reason why you wouldn't be feeling confident and thinking I can make birdie here. But you've got to weigh up the situation. You're hitting into a tornado if you're playing today, first of all. But also again, where this flag is. I mean, sometimes you play these courses and the flags are tucked on the edges, so where you do not want to miss this green is left, because then you're going to be short-sided, you're going to have no room to play your chip and stop it in an adequate place for the first putt. So we've got to try and get the ball into the middle of the green. You've still got an outside chance of, to be honest with you, even getting it inside of 20 feet from 115 yards.
Yeah, I think would be a great
an exceptional shot regardless of the level. So we've got to be trying to pick a target. Now in behind this flag behind this green, we've got the clubhouse. So I would also always try and say pick a specific target. So there is a tree to the right, a very small tree albeit, but there's a tree to the right of the flag. So I'll be looking at trying to pick out a really small point of that, because it's difficult to pick out a point on a green, so pick out something to aim at behind the green. Yeah,
and I think like club selection, it's 117, that's normally a 56 for me, but I've gone up to pitching wedge.
Today it's a 7-9.
Yeah, because of the wind. There's a lot of spin on these sort of shots, isn't there? So they're going to climb quicker into any form of wind. Yeah. And this is where I would see a lot of amateurs, especially in this sort of distance, they get 100 yards and think, it's not going to affect it that much. It's probably going to affect it more, just because it'll climb and launch a lot more. So this normally would go 135, but I've added 25 onto it.
Always a good tip for this is once you've zapped the flag, if you are on a GPS or you've got a watch or a buggy or whatever, look at what the back of the green is. That can sometimes make you feel a little bit more comfortable about taking the extra club, because there could be another 10 or 15 yards behind. Then you can almost tell yourself, I definitely can't hit it over the back now. So it's easier then to commit to it, because the majority of golfers from here will leave it on the front edge of the green, which in this particular case is definitely 3 putt territory, and you can leave it short very, very easily. So be aggressive with your club selection in circumstances like this.
Right then, pitching wedge, I'm going to knock it down a little bit, try and play a tiny little bit of draw. You can hear that wind now, wow. Oh, Andy Carter, can you be my full-time coach? Just nearly hit the stick.
That's gone in.
Player! But even that there, you saw how much that stalled in the wind. And that was a full-blooded wedge then, knocked down.
At first I thought it was going to fly into the clubhouse.
Yeah, but
it just stopped.
Right, let's get up to Carter's ball where he's right next to the green. So up to the ball then, as you can see, Andy's just walking back from the green. Is that part of your routine when you would get near the green, go and assess what's around there instead of just up, hit?
Yeah, exactly. Just when you get this close, it's just good to kind of see which way the ball may bounce when it lands. And sometimes people say you're getting a bit too into it, but I think if you land it on the side of the slope and it kicks 10 foot right, then it just makes the putt even harder. So I'm trying to make a game plan. You can either play a chip and run up the green, then you can allow for the slope, or in my case, what I'm going to try and do using this wind is fly it all the way to the flag, because as Matt said earlier on, when you're hitting into wind, it's generally going to add a little bit of spin onto your ball. It's going to slow the ball speed down as it gets to the hole, so it's never going to roll out too much.
Right then, let's see the wedge wizard.
Right, so we want some nippy, spinny action, do we?
Bit of speed, trust the loft. See if you can get inside mine. No chance. Nice. Oh, good in. Oh, what a shot. Two great chances.
Did he say no chance?
Well, you're still not as close as me, but hey. Right, let's get onto the green and talk a little bit about the putting.
Two chances of bird.
Two chances of birdie on this tough long hole. What's the thought process here?
Please go in.
Please go in.
We'll always start with please go in.
Please go in.
First of all, always just looking at the line. I always look at line first, looking for the break.
Yeah.
But then as soon as I've kind of made a decision on line, it's just all about pace.
Pace.
Because no matter what line you choose, you've got to get the pace to complement it. So for this instance, I'm going just outside the right edge. Obviously, if I hit it too hard, it's not going to take the break.
Yeah.
Too soft, it's going to take too much break. So from this sort of distance, inside of 10 feet, I use the writing on the ball or a line on the ball just to help me line up and get the roll. Outside of 10 feet, I just kind of freewheel it.
Freewheel it, more about your touch.
Sometimes it can get a bit confusing. Also, when you stand over the ball, you get a bit confused with, you get a bit disorientated with the slope. So this is where the line comes in. You just got to trust it. And miss it. So that's the one where I hit it too hard.
Dirty line. Pick the line, use the line on the golf ball. You've coached me excellently up this hole, and I've left myself a 3-footer.
Okay, come on then, don't let me down. This hole's all about coaching you. It wasn't
all about coaching Andy. Coaching me from Andy even. Oh, yeah. Sensational stuff. So some fantastic tips there from Andy, how to play those par fives. Thank you for coaching me to my birdie, sir.
My pleasure, my pleasure.
Was, you know, obviously you didn't make one.
I just wish I could have matched it.
Yeah. Well, you had your hands full. You had to guide me all the way through there. But fantastic tips there from Andy. And I think next time we're out on par fives, maybe take a few of those into hand, and we should start to see the scores tumbling down. Guys, if you haven't already, make sure you've subscribed to this man's channel here. Plenty more coaching over there. Loads of other challenges. Some great stuff we've done out in Dubai as well. So thank you for having me. Thanks for the lesson.
My pleasure.
I might book you again.
Can't afford me.
No. Guys, thanks for watching. See you in the next video.